Welcome back. In this chapter, we're going to be doing something a little bit easier. We're going to be adding some debris falling to this shot at 2 minutes and 34 seconds. So if you want to follow along, you can open up one of our work files here. If you go to the project manager, right click and say import project. In your work files, this should be 4F VFX lights done.drp. That's what we're going to be working on. Open that. If media is disconnected, make sure to select all of the media here in the media pool. Right click and say relink clips for selected bins. Go to your work files, select media and hit select folder, and that should reconnect everything. Should be beautiful. So now here on this shot, she's being shot at and we have a couple things falling down, but there's not much going on and we want this to be a little bit more intense. So we're going to add some dust kind of falling here. This is one of those simple things that adds a little bit more craziness here. We might even add a little bit of camera shake here just to make this a little bit more intense. So with our playhead over the shot we want, switch to Fusion. Let's load our LUT. And we're really just going to be putting some footage over this footage. So under VFX here in the upper left-hand corner in our media pool, let's go ahead and right click and import media. And we're going to look for dustfall 1 and dustfall2.mov and hit open. Now we have a couple of clips of dust falling, which if we open this up in the edit page, it might be a little bit easier to take a look at what we got here. This is just elements on black of just dust falling down. Dustfall 1, dustfall 2. This is just sawdust, basically. So actually what we'll do before we even go into the Fusion page, we'll use a little trick here because this is just a little bit easier way to line things up. Is let's grab dustfall 2 and just put it over our shot here in the timeline. I'll hold down Alt and get rid of this audio. And for dustfall 2, let's select that and go up to our inspector here. And then under composite mode where it says normal, let's select screen. And that's going to basically get rid of the black here. So now we have this dust falling and it's a little bit easier here in the timeline to time that out because it's still pretty miserable in Fusion. So now we have this dust falling here. And when things fall down, I would say maybe right after this piece of garbage falls down, we'll have this dust falling down. So we'll just move this back. And we're also going to scale this up. An easy way to do that is select this here in the timeline and go here to our lower left-hand corner of our viewer and just click on that to where it shows you the little rectangle here. Now we'll have these little handles here and we can just move this around a little bit easier and just place this where we want. So let's go like this. Now we have that stuff falling right here. And we can just move this around, have that fallen down, and we'll trim this to end right with that shot. Boom, like that. Maybe have this start a little bit sooner. Okay. Boost this up a little more. And we kind of want her to react a little bit. So maybe we'll have this happen right about the time that she looks to the side. We'll have that stuff coming down. I want to make sure this goes all the way to the end. The only thing is it's a little bit intense. So we'll take this dustfall 2 here and we'll just bring down the opacity to be just noticeable. So now we have some of that debris falling. We can even add some more. We have dustfall 1, that would totally work. Let's pick that like this. We'll just drag that down again, hold down Alt, select that audio, and we'll trim this again. Go to composite mode and select screen. We'll zoom this up. Have stuff falling down here. We don't want them to fall at the same time. We'll keep it pretty straight up and down. Like that, and turn it down a little bit. Turn the opacity down a touch. So now we just have all of this stuff kind of falling around her, and it looks pretty intense. Yeah. So maybe we'll have that happen right after the flash. So boom. Yeah, that works. Make sure to trim that right before the other clip. And now we actually have quite a bit of VFX done here, and we didn't even have to go into Fusion. So you don't always have to do Fusion for everything. In fact, we can right click and select this, and we'll go up to Reset Fusion Composition, just because it's a little bit easier for Resolve to think about this if it doesn't have to think about a Fusion comp at the same time. Because we're not doing anything in the Fusion comp. So we'll have this just play back well like that. Sounds good. I'll hold down Alt with these selected and move them down a couple tracks. And let's actually change the color of them too. I'll right click and we'll just make it a color that nothing else is, like chocolate, let's say. This is just so that we know that this is a different kind of thing. This is VFX. It's not just some clip. Cool, well that was easy. Let's go ahead and turn this marker green. Hit M to bring this up and just select green, hit done. And that's adding a little bit of debris. Nice.